Welcome. Ziggy1X here with another NieR reincarnation video. And we have it. We finally have gotten the monthly pass.
Who are you?
Back in part 3 of Saving NieR Reincarnation, I talked about the need for a monthly pass to bring value to the lower spenders, the lower tier spenders, to help them to ease into the process of spending into the game. What this meant is that it needed to be enticing as far as price for the people who were on the fence about spending, but it also needed to add enough value to be something that could be picked up by the veteran players and the players who were maybe the bigger spenders. Now, how does this pass stack up to that? Well, in summary, it's a gem wrapped in a turd. Let me explain. Let's go ahead and go back to when we first started receiving our packs. And I'm going to use this as context here. When we first got advanced handbooks, what we were seeing was hold on a second, I'm going to go ahead and put this on. What we were seeing was a fully awakening one of our characters to the next level cap was about $79. This was for 10 advanced handbooks, gems, and other things that came with it, usually Zenith Brilliance and things like that. All of these things were useful in the context of the game at that time. But the cost to raise the level cap of the character was extremely high. Again, $79. Now, to offset that, the advanced handbooks shortly thereafter, within a few months of them becoming available in the shop to purchase, started to be something that you could farm up within the game, or things that were handed out in the game over a period of time. So this devalued the value of the advanced handbooks in the shop and made them more of a accessory than what you were actually seeking. When you went to the shop, you went to the shop for gems. You didn't go to the shop for advanced handbooks. And so now let's take that with what we have here. We have here a generic awakening stone. This is a true generic awakening stone. It can be used on any costume, both the regular and the limited costumes, the collaboration, as well as the ones that work within the system of NieR Reincarnation. So this is a true awakening stone, and it is priced at US dollars $16.99, with the caveat that it's available after completing missions and after 15 days of completing these missions. Now, when I broke down what a monthly pass should look like, this is something that was in it. There needs to be an incentive to come back to the game every day. And getting all of your rewards all at once defeats the purpose of a monthly pass. So in this, it is succeeding. Now, the final reward, the generic awakening stone for $16.99, compared to what we've had in the past, this is an exceptionally good deal. And I'm a little surprised to see it for this cheap. If we're being perfectly honest here, I was not expecting, when I talked about this and when I started hearing rumblings of the monthly pass, so geez, it must have been 3 weeks ago, I did not expect to see generic awakening materials. I thought that maybe there would be some kind of limit on them, or that maybe we'd be seeing more like what I talked about in my video, where we would see paid and free gems with other things spread over the course of the month. This is better. This is way better. This beats the pants off of gems. And I'll tell you what, the gems give you a sort of cathartic release. Now, I've heard told of different play styles where some people play the game to get that instant dopamine drop, and then the other players are there to basically pace it out over the long haul. So this caters to the second demographic, because you are logging in every day and you are accomplishing tasks to get to this point. So in 14 days from now, I will have my 2B at Awakening 3, which is going to feel really, really good. I don't feel like I have to keep dipping into that banner to get her to Awakening 3 to get that 30% bold vigor in her passives. So I can now back off of the banner and I can focus on getting that generic awakening stone. And in 14 days from now, I'll get it, I'll cash it in, I'll get my 2B up to awakening 3. This is gonna feel really good. And then next month, in 44 days, I'll go ahead and I'll get the monthly pass again, and I'll get my brother NieR up to awakening 3. So now I'll have both of them at awakening 3. I'll have basically maximized the potential of both of those costumes, and I will feel really good about it. So let's talk about the turd. That's the gem. The cost, banging good deal. $16.99 for a generic awakening stone that can be used on any character ever released. It's done. That alone makes it worthwhile. If it was just that, and it was just that single piece there sitting for $16.99, every one of us would buy it who was looking for a way to get that quick enhancement, that quick power jump out of our characters. But it's tied into a structure that should incentivize other kinds of things within it. And let me explain. This is the turd. So we have the gem, now we have the turd. These rewards are 80% garbage, okay? There is no need for rubies and for aquamarines or anything else that we can farm within the game easily. All we have to do is drop some skip tickets on it, get 200 of them, and we're good to go for the next month. These things should not be in here. Now, however, these, the insignia of quality, very good to have, because the more we enhance, the more weapons we get, the more we bring these guys up to the level 15 skills, we need these kind of enhancements. Okay, so we have our character skills. I've got a ton of these. I've got 109 of these, and I've only got 22 of the insignia. So obviously I've been using them to get my weapons up to those level 15 skills. Getting these is a good thing. Getting 2 of them once a month, it's not great. But these guys, they shouldn't even be here, because these are things that can be got from the game. Now, remember what we are doing with a monthly pass. The purpose of a lower price of entry, but also offering something really good on the back end, is to get low spenders and no spenders, the free-to-play players, to spend. That is the purpose. That is the main purpose. A monthly pass wins or loses based off of its ability to get that lower tier to spend and to sustain the spending. Because what's going to happen regardless is that the spenders, the regular spenders, and I spend on occasion myself, this is a no-brainer for me. I will be buying this every month as it stands right now, but there's a lot of room for improvement. And this isn't fulfilling one of its most important roles to a degree. It's not incentivizing the lowest tier spenders, the ones who are free to play, to get in and spend. It's not an impulse buy. For one, it's priced a little too high for that. When I put this out in Saving NieR Reincarnation Part 3, I said it needed to be around 10 bucks. Now, 17 bucks isn't quite 10 bucks. It's almost twice that. And we've got it in our head, $9.99 is a good deal. $12.99 is a good deal. There's these certain number tiers, but once you get above the $15 mark, it changes in our brain. We're programmed to be this way because of the way incentives and deals work within our economy. So this is a little bit too pricey on that end. Again, it's offering an incredible deal, something I really didn't expect to see in this. And it's also, on a side note, sort of pricing the generic awakening stones probably somewhere around, if you were just to go to the shop and buy it, somewhere between the $25 to $50 mark. That's about what this is saying, because you're waiting 15 days to get one. So if you wanted to instantly get one, $25 to $50 with other things mixed in there is probably what they would be charging you. So it's setting the price for that. It's setting a standard of what the generic awakening stones are going to cost. So this is a bargain because of that. But it should have things that are hard to get a hold of for newer players that incentivize newer players. So now we have these other materials that we're getting, for example, from our fate boards. So let's jump over here to let's go over here to our Exalt. This is the hard material. This is the tough material to get a hold of. And if we go over here to, let's say, maybe I'm thinking of Exalting Gale. We have this little item right here, this Verse of Truth. Now, currently I'm sitting on 11 of these. I don't use these very often. I just spent 5 on 2B because I'm all for 2B right now. These items, if you were to be given 5 per month, or 4 per month, or 6 per month, or something like that, as a part of a premium pass, it doesn't have to be, maybe it could be, but it doesn't have to be a full level 100 cap. This is another thing that would incentivize players, newer players, to get in and give them that added bump that they need, because right now Fate board is not new player friendly. It is very difficult in terms of the game challenge. There's on the newest one, there is one map that I'm just struggling to get the full 3 stars on, and it's difficult. And I've got a pretty advanced account, so things like this that incentivize newer players to get into it are good things to have. I also still think there should be gems in there. There doesn't have to be, but the gems are pretty. They're the shiny item. But as far as going back to just the pass itself, advanced handbooks, always useful. This is a good pickup for newer players. These guys, very useful. These guys, what is this doing in here? We can farm these up en masse in any number of events. The skip tickets, there's so few of them that, 10 skip tickets. Come on, guys. This should be, either they should not be here, or they should be between 50 to 100. I'm not kidding. There should be a lot of them, because skip tickets are useful, but they're also, they're not really the big draw that you need. You want sex appeal with a package like this. You want it to be a pretty bow and pretty shiny packaging, something that when you look at it, you say, ooh. Have you ever been to a store, walked through the aisle, and something just caught your eye because of the way it was packaged? That's the way this should be. You should be immediately drawn to the package, even if it isn't something you thought you wanted when you were going to the store. It should be something that when you see it, you say, I want that, or at least I want to see what it's all about. That's what this needs to be, and it needs to be geared more towards the newer players and more towards the low spenders, with the bonuses for the big spenders. So where does this guy succeed? The generic awakening stone. And that's the big part of it. The standard monthly pass at the end there, that should be a 4-star ticket, guaranteed ticket. Either that or a 10 pull. It's just one ticket, one single pull is, come on guys. I thought we were past this. I thought we were learning here. It's a good start. So my final assessment of this is that, is it worth it? Yes, it is worth it. It is definitely worth it. If you are trying to awaken characters, go get it. It's worth it. Can it be improved? Oh yes, it can be improved. Is there room for improvement, and have they built in the mechanisms for improvement? Yes, they have. This is something that they can change. Month to month, they can change. And it's something that can be modified over time. Will it be changed next month? I don't think so. I think that they're going to leave it as is for maybe a couple months, and then they're going to revisit it. They're probably going to get some feedback. And by the way, write in your feedback. Write the things that I've said. This should not be including items that we can easily pick up within the game. It should be catered towards both the new players, who are the low spenders, and the veterans. And it should have items that are hard to get a hold of for the newer players. That adds a lot of value to it. So if you're trying to create a system, a structure within this monthly pass, then you need to make that the case. The other thing is this needs to be on a monthly renewal. This needs to be something that you can subscribe to, and that it just auto renews. Okay, that's another thing. This is a subscription service, guys. This needs to be the case. So you need to be able to subscribe to it, and if possibly you subscribe to it for a prolonged period of time, there should be discounts attached to it. That'd be great. That's, again, guaranteed income, so give the player the discount. And the final thing is, what does this mean for the life of the game? Because I very infamously made a video very recently about some of the more toxic talk in the community about the game shutting down, and how that's been going on for a very long time with little to no evidence. and how it really has chased away players who were newer players or players, returning players who thought that the game was shutting down. There are people who actually thought the game was shutting down a month or two ago because of some of this rhetoric going on. So what does this right here mean for the game? Well, it means a lot. I think that there is going to be changes to this over time. But I think that since this is a marathon type of package, that's what this is. It's asking you to buy into the game every month to get a little piece of something to push it forward, to push your character forward just a little bit further. Prediction time. I'm going to put on my opinion hat. I think that season 3 is going to be the beginning of the end of the story, of the main story, of the planned arc of the story. And I think season 4 is going to be the original planned end of the story. Because what we see here in season 3 is it feels like it's building up to something big. And that's just my opinion, just from a storytelling. And I know that trilogies are very popular, but this feels like your beginning of the end, the way things are going. Now, what they decide to do after that is completely on them. If they have more story they want to tell, and there's plenty of story to tell because there's a lot of open gaps within the world that Yoko Taro has created. But I think that what we will be seeing here, first of all, they are listening. And we need to let them know. We need to tell them. We need to communicate with them what's going on. And we need to communicate how we feel. We need to communicate where they're winning and where they're lacking. This pack is a gem wrapped in a turd. There's so much that can be changed about it that can make it appealing on the surface, something that catches you, that window item. And then it has those gems, like that generic awakening stone. So for fear of not rambling on too long, that is my initial impression of it. Did I buy it? Oh, yes, I did. Am I going to continue to buy it? Oh, yes, I will. And this is an easy buy for me because it is a guaranteed. This is another thing that I mentioned in my series. There needs to be the gotcha aspect, the gambling, but there also needs to be the guaranteed aspects. This fits squarely into that guaranteed aspect. If you already have the costume and you just need one more bump in power, this is guaranteed. This is great. This is what we've been asking for. It also probably means that we're not going to be getting generic awakening stones at any time soon within the game, something that can be pieces of generic awakening stones farmed or things like that. It will probably be at least minimum 6 months out. So that's something also to take into account here, that this progression is planned to be very slow, yet another good sign for the longevity of the game, because they're basically taking everything that they could give you and they're spreading it out over time. So, am I excited? Yes. Am I a little disappointed? Yes. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but I'm far more excited than I am disappointed. Now, there is one more thing to comment on, and this was brought up in the community over on Discord. If we go over here to the shop, we'll take a look at this guy real quickly. And we jump down to our generic exchanges. Okay, so you can see here that there is one remaining shard or stone of each of these characters. And we have in here every character in the game. But the other thing you'll notice here, if we go to our Awakening Stone Exchange, there is a refresh on the first of every month. You can see that on the bottom right here. We don't see that on this guy. But this is something that's going to be updated. I don't know if it's going to be in real time. So next week we're going to be getting, or this coming week, we're going to be getting a new costume I'm kind of excited about. And then we're going to be getting a collaboration probably close to the same time. And so the new costume, we will be able to tell how this works, how this is structured, if that new costume stone is immediately inserted into this shop as soon as the event drops and is live. If it doesn't, that means it's going to be on a monthly reset cycle. So this will tell us a few things about the nature of the shop. I, again, in 14 days, will be picking up my 2B Awakening Stone. So when the next month rolls around, we can look at that and we can base it off of the items we've already picked up. And if those items are still gone and there's been no reset, like this is fine, by the way, if you can only pick up one per month. I'm good with that. But if it's only one ever, that's a problem. because people who are going to want to be building towards something are going to want to be building towards something. And they're not going to just have one chance in it and then wait for that random event to rerun so that they can maybe get a pull on it. This needs to be a guarantee, and it needs to be a slow burn. So I'm going to leave it there. Excited, and I'm very optimistic about the future. I think that this is a good first step. It's not the end game. It's not everything it should be. It's not everything it can be, but it's a very good first step. So those are my initial thoughts. I thank you all for watching. And by the way, we did it. This is in part us. This is us coming together. This is us telling the developers and everybody in the community what we wanted and what we expected in the game. So this is a win, no matter how you slice it. So I'm grateful for all of you who put your best foot forward, and also the people who supported me in my Saving NieR Reincarnation series. This is the kind of conversation we were having about precisely this. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time with me and for putting up with me and everything else. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out, y'all. Bye.